Hello, I am testing to see if it is possible to stream from here. I'm in a new place in life again. Also, straight to the topic, I'm following 3 Misophonia groups at the moment, and I'm seeing Bruce Ecker get mentions, and I have his work from 2018 over here. And I'm posting the link into the chat because this is also available for free as a PDF form. It is over here. Whoever does not know me, I'm someone who used to be misophonic, and it used to be a huge thing in my life. Bruce Ecker does publish a lot of really wonderful case studies, but what I know, I don't know so far of any case studies on sound triggers that would be like similar enough for people who don't know how memory reconsolidation works to get a grasp of this entire process. The protocol he uses is very versatile on a lot of problems of the human condition. It's not misophonia specific, but it can be used. Just ask me. I have marked important pieces with these fabulous post-it things. He has 2 case studies on this one, both of which I like a lot. I'm especially taken aback by this one that is starting from page 37. It's like, let's not go in there. That's like almost off topic. Thing 1, access. How do you access a problem to solve the problem? He is writing in this academical style. Thus, there are several pathways of access which a therapy client can arrive at direct affective awareness and blah, blah, blah. With misophonia, I would start obviously from the sound trigger, right? He's listing client's behavior, client's mood, emotion, emotional reactivity of the problematic state or situation, somatic disturbances, blah, 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 blah. All right, step 1, trigger, sound trigger. This is not a general video for people who don't know what misophonia is. I'm sorry, this is directly for people who have been dealing with this thing for a long while and have already tried a lot of stuff, typically. Step 2. Start from this one first. Here is the protocol of the memory reconsolidation process. Is it showing you the mirror image? It is showing me the mirror image. Okay, he's splitting it into 3 phases. I've been through this hundreds of times. Sorry for kicking the table. I know this by heart. Preparation phase, symptom identification, or access through trigger. The trigger is not the problem. The trigger is just good access point to the problem itself. Step 2 of the preparation phase, retrieval of target scheme. Sorry for not knowing how to pronounce. This is where you gotta recognize the emotional threat underneath there, and identification of disco. identification of disconfirming knowledge, like how do you start building the experience that unlocks the thing, likely the opposite of the emotional threat. Like this first step is very simple but very difficult. All misophonic people, like they may share same trigger to completely different emotional threats. So the identification of what is the needed disconfirming knowledge, it will be different for every person, even if they seemingly share the same problem. Well, a lot of them do, but it's a whole another story. Okay, then you start the first eraser sequence. Is this the fine term for it? Over here. Huh? It's blurry. Doesn't matter. Is this the fine term for it? Over here. Huh? It's blurry. Doesn't matter. Reactivation of target schema. Okay, so the person is saying like, oh, I hate it. I hate the sound when my dad is eating. Right? And then you are like, sounds bad. But is it worse if he's looking at you and knowing he's hurting you and he's eating, or if he's not even like recognizing you are in pain? The answer might be different between these misphonic people. Some people hate it when someone is looking at them, and some people hate it when someone is not looking at them. That is the first like clue that they have different emotional meanings, balance, like a different emotional significance of the sound trigger. The trigger connects to different emotional learning. So, reactivation of target schema, target learning. This is so funny because this thing is available in the academic world, and what you have is like me doing this with my bad English, and I'm by no means professional in this. I just have lots of relevant experience. Step 2, when you have reactivated, you gotta like gather it into this up here memory system, the fucking lähimuisti in English. Just gather it to here and now. Gather the problem. Like you experimentally remind someone of being looked at or not being looked at. So it will be heat up the right tracks in the brain. That's roughly it. Step 2, destabilization of target schema. Activation of contrary knowledge mismatches the target schema, the first juxtaposition. This is a big step. If anyone were to get this from my weird ramble, then world would be a different place. You can bypass somebody's emotional learning by experimentally reminding them of contradictory knowledge. I'm trying. Nullification of target schema. Several repetitions of juxtaposition for counter learning during remainder of session. Feels weird and nice. You gotta. I'm gonna go through over the rest of the stuff and then just really explain. Because the last third of the thing over here. How are my fingers so dirty? Sorry. Verification phase. This is just where you check the learning, and this is. I can't really pick my favorite part of this protocol, but lately, based on what I have been talking with one of my friends, this would be it. Like, how can you ever trust your reactions? How can you ever trust you've done the change work? When do you know the therapy is over? I'm talking about this with one of my friends. Because when you enter therapy or any change work, you are having like only partial access to problems. Once you start going into it, things look worse for a while. So that can kind of wreck your trust in your ability to measure how bad things are. So any protocol that has ways of verifying the learning are of value, I would say. So how do you check if something was reconsolidated or not? Well, it's pretty easy. Again, with the words I don't know how to pronounce. Symptom cessation. Vanishing of the symptom. Like, you wouldn't react to the sound trigger anymore at all. Non-reactive of target sema, which means you wouldn't react to the emotional threat either. So you can't just lose sound trigger without gaining something else emotionally. Win some, lose some. You'll never know what you're bargaining when you want to get away from sound trigger of something. You might start living your life as a person who can deal being looked at and turn out a ballet performer. Whatever. Effortless performance. This is like, I got out of Misophonia in 2014, which is years ago. I don't do anything to not react to the sounds. I stopped reacting. I've lost how I used to do it. I was misophonic for at least 14 years of my life. Could have been more. It's not funny. It was horrible. It's hindsight. It's funny. In the moment, it's like tormenting. I'm gonna go through this in like. Sorry, I try not to touch the microphone. Through this protocol. It's a cat. My friend's cat is in here. Through this protocol. I don't know if I'm helping anyone. I'm gonna post this to treatment tracker, and if anyone likes my reading circle, we can go through so much Bruce Ecker. Like, last one reading is last one standing. I love his works. I wish I could afford all his works. Also, if someone can't take animal sounds, there is an animal around over there. I can write this same stuff too. Symptom identification. Yeah, well, this is the first step, is the only one that's easy. Symptom identification. Identify that somebody is bothered by sound triggers. Easy. Sounds are bad. Whoa. Retrieval of target schema. Like, what's underneath it? This, like, 99% of misophonic people do not know where this connects to, or like even that it connects to anywhere. They are like out on the sea saying, it's my brain, it's my muscles, it's my body. It's like, this doesn't make any sense, but it does. It makes profound sense. But you gotta know what is this personal sense they are making of it. I'm having a bad headache. Identification of disconfirming knowledge. That was the, like, figure out the opposite of the emotional threat. I can talk about threats and safety endlessly, but I would need context for it. This is like, his works are too broad. Like, he's over here using this to complex attachment trauma, which is Impressive. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but the way it goes, you would have to build the disconfirming experience from these steps. Everybody has experience of reconsolidation window already. It's not like superhuman experience or anything. It's when you go to your childhood city and you haven't been in there in years and they've built new buildings and now you're looking at it like, oh, this is not what I expected. And it feels kind of weird. That weirdness is the sweet spot. You gotta build an experience for misophonic people where they are expecting some emotional threats, but they are experiencing opposite of it. I don't know if it's always opposite, like it seems to be, but there could be other scenarios that I don't know of. For me, the opposites have been helpful. I can intentionally push myself in the reconsolidation window. It's kind of like going to gym, like physical gym. Like I don't really want to. It's a lot of work. But it's kind of simple and kind of easy as well. Let's go to my other. He calls this, like when you build this experience, he calls this like corrective experiences. But that would imply that something was incorrect or something was wrong, which is not the case. And I just love how validating his works are of the human condition itself. Again, with the words I don't know how to pronounce. Designating transformational change events as corrective perpetuates pathologizing views of the symptom production that are inconsistent with the neuroscience of implicit learning and unlearning. Corrective implies that the client's prior emotional learnings are incorrect. Misophonic people are not wrong. You can't really be emotionally wrong. He's suggesting we change corrective experiences, like could be replaced by unlearning experiences or eraser experiences or transformational experiences. I think transformational experiences are the best because that's what it is, that's how it feels like. And eraser isn't kind of true either. You can't erase things. You can just, it's just changing, it's just more learning. It's not unlearning either, it's new learning. So that's the thing. Also, there was in the same category. I love this one as well. Now we are on the page 10. The recognition that implicit emotional learnings are inherently adaptive, coherent, and neurologically built to persist for a lifetime amounts to non-pathologizing view of the symptom production that contradicts the widespread characterization of pathogenic or maladaptive maladaptive belief driving symptom production. The emotional learning and memory system of each of the 5 therapy clients, again with some case studies, described above certainly were generating unwelcome behaviors and states of mind and body, yet were functioning properly in doing so, not malfunctioning or dysfunctioning, similar to how the unwelcome swelling, painful tenderness, and redness around recent wound expresses the proper functioning of healing and immunity systems. In that sense, many conditions often termed disorders of emotional memory are not actually disorders at all. to describe a therapy client's core beliefs or seen as incorrect. Maladaptive or pathogenic is actually to accuse the process of natural selection of having those attributes, because a person's persisting belief and seems exist due to the proper functioning, not the malfunctioning, of the emotional brain. This is what applies to misophonia as well. Like, misophonia is not separate condition of rest of the human condition. You hear a sound, you react to the sound. It has deep, profound meaning, and you are not malfunctioning. You can see it on his works already. Some wild internet rumors are saying he's working with some misophonic people, or some people who are working with misophonic people, but the protocol is no different. Like, I got free through this type of I just can't describe. It was like the biggest thing in my life ever. Read this one. I mean, reading this one will not create the needed experience, but it describes the nature of the needed experiences for learning other ways to react. I'm anyway reading his works. If my weird rambles help anyone at all, then just let me know and I can have a reading circle or whatever. Also ask me about this. I can find the answers. Because it kind of the bigger picture of this makes really deep and profound sense to me, even if I mess up the words. Gonna end in here and see if I even had the sound on. Don't go desperate in the meanwhile.